line, we'll just start with second example by two-phase method only. This is again, see, this is again from July. First is conversion. This is already in maximization, so you don't have to convert anything, right? So you keep it as usual. You can write it as max z or z max, doesn't matter. 3x1 minus x2. All others you can start. This equation will get converted to 2x1 plus x2. Symbol is greater than equal to, right? So greater than equal to means you need to subtract surplus variable. So say x3 minus x3. As surplus variable is there, take artificial variable a1 is equal to 2. This equation will get converted to the x1 plus 3x2. This is less than equal to means add slack variable. So when we are adding slack variable, there is no need of artificial variable. Only if the variable is having negative, then only we need to add. Okay, so this equal to 2. And in this there is no x1 coefficient, but this is the constraint, so you need to write it. If for your benefits, I mean, for we can write it as 0 into x1, so it will be ultimately 0 only. Plus
Ma'am, how do we decide if the slack variable has a negative or a positive?
based on these symbols. See, when the symbol is this is greater than equal to, right? I'll just tell you, all of you listen, don't get confused. But anyhow, you remember this is greater than equal to, this is less than equal to. So greater than equal to means you have to subtract, or I can say subtract surplus variable. Okay, surplus variable. And here you have to add slack variable. If the coordinates will be x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, like that only. You can take s1, s2, you can take y, z, anything. It's not a problem, any core. But we are just following x1, x2, x3, x4, like that. Okay. So if it is greater than equal to, surplus variable you need to subtract. If it is less than equal to, you need to add slack variable. Now I'm just going to explain why we are saying like this. For example, now let's say we have a equation. X1 plus x2 is less than equal to 5, right? So if I wanted to convert this, what I will do, I'll say x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 5. That means what? Suppose in this equation, if the value of x1 is 2 and if the value of x2 is 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 is less than equal to 5, right? The 2 plus 1 is 3, so 3 is less than equal to 5. The condition is maintained, the constraint is satisfied. But when we wanted to convert this symbol to the equal to, this is less, right? This is only 3, where this side it is 5. LHS is 3, RHS is 5. So we cannot say 3 is equal to 5, but we need to convert into equality. So how much is less? 2 is less, right? So if we add 2 over here, talking about this, when to use slack variable as you asked, I was just explaining this. As I told, always if it is greater than equal to surplus variable, you have to minus it, minus. And if it is greater than equal, less than equal to, you have to add a slack variable. And for that I was just giving the explanation. If you have a condition like this, x1 plus x2 less than equal to 5, right? and if you have the value of x1 is 3, sorry, value of x1 is 2, value of x2 is 1, the x1 plus x2, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. We'll get it as 3, right? Which is less than equal to right hand side 5. Okay, so till the condition is satisfied, this condition is satisfied, right? But when we wanted to convert this less than equal to the equal to, right? When we wanted to convert this constraint to the equation, we'll be writing x1 plus x2 is equal to 5. So value of x1 is 1, value of x2 is 2. Sorry, it is reverse, 2 and 1. This is just an example. So it is 3. So and right hand side is 5. So it is not matching. This is not equal to, right? 3 is not equal to 5. So we are adding the slack variable where the value of this slack variable will become a 2, because 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. So 5 equal to 5. That's why we are adding this slack variable to convert this inequality to the equality. Okay, clear? Is it clear? In the same way, when we wanted to do it for other symbol, right? Suppose the equation is like this: x1 minus x2 greater than equal to 5. If this like this, and if the same values are there, suppose the values are here 3 and here the value is 4, right? For x1 it is 3 and x2 is 4, or we'll reverse it. This is plus, no? So 3 and 4. Right, so 3 plus 4 is how much? 7. So that means what? 7 is greater than equal to 5. So condition is satisfied. The constraints are satisfied, right? But when we need to convert this equation to equal to, right? When we need to convert this constraint to the equal to, 7 is not equal to 5. So there is an extra 2 over here. We have an extra 2 over here. So that should be removed, right? Now as it is greater than the 5, we need to subtract it. That's why what we'll do, x1 plus x2 minus, will do it minus surplus variable, because it's surplus, it is extra, it's a surplus value. So we'll subtract it. So we'll subtract x3 equal to 5. Now we can say that 2, 4 minus 2. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5, which is equal to the right hand side. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just always remember less than equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal to slack variable, greater than equal to surplus variable to be subtract. Okay, chalo.
Just one more thing.
Huh.
Why did we also add a1 in the equation?
That is artificial variable. So that artificial variable, when I started BGAME method, I explained that if we are using this surplus variables, now the what will be the coefficient of surplus variable? The coefficient of surplus variable will be minus, right? You can see that here this is a surplus variable, right? So the coefficient of this surplus variable, it's minus 1. Now when we start a table, right, we will get an identity matrix as minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1, something like this in the simplex method. Okay, listen Shashank, because I have already, I think twice I have repeated. So we'll have a minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1 when we'll start the first iteration in our simplex method table. So what will happen, this minus value, when we'll start calculation and all, when we'll start this first iteration, we will not get the feasible values for the Cj minus Zj. we will not get a feasible value for this Cj minus Zg, we'll get the infeasible values because of this minus 1. So we cannot use this minus 1. Suppose minus is 1 is x3 and this is x4. So if we cannot use in the simplex method this x3 and x4, which are the surplus variable, which has this minus 1 as a coefficient. I mean, not here we are not writing, actually in this we are writing. So this x3 and x4, which are surplus variables, we cannot use in start with these values, and to avoid getting infeasible solution, we are adding this a1 artificial variable, where the artificial variable, the coefficient in the constraints will be 1. Right, so our matrix will not be -1. When we'll use this artificial variable, our matrix will be having the identity matrix with the positive value, which will lead to the feasible solution. Okay, so understand procedure, because this is all theoretical part. Yes, you need to know. So just start with the phase 1. Always write in example also. In exam also you have to write phase 1. Okay, highlight your phase 1. You are having the variables x1, x2, x3, x4 and a1. Acha, we have not written over here, no? It's got deleted. X1 plus x2, here it is slack variable, so it will come as x5 is equal to 4, right? So we'll be having x5 also. X5 and a1, RHS and then theta. And then we have not written over here. This is plus 0x3 for all slack and surplus variable. It is always 0 coefficient in the objective function. So 0x5 and minus a1, right? So now here in the phase 1, all the coefficients will be 0 for x1, x2 also, which are actual decision variable. For all the variables, it will be 0, except for the artificial variable, it will be -1, right? And now, always remember, from first equation, what you have to take? A1. So take A1. From the second equation, you have to take this surplus variable. So x4. From third equation, this surplus variable. Sorry, it's not surplus, slack variable. So this. So we have written this. The coefficient of a1 is -1, but for x4 and x5 it is 0. Right? So from the first equation, 2, 1, -1, 2, 1, -1, 0, 0. There is no x4 and x5. So 0, 0, 1. RHS is 2. For the second equation, 1, 3, x4 is there, so 1. So for x4 is 1. For this, 1 and 3. For remaining, there is no remaining variables, so it is 0, 0, 0. And the next, we don't have x1 in the third equation, so it will be 0. x1, x2 is 1, x5 is 1, and remaining are 0. Now see our identity matrix. Here what basis variables are there? A1, x4 and x5. A1, x4 and x5. So you can concentrate on this. You can see that we got the identity matrix in the way the variables are appearing in this, right? So you got A1 1, you got x4 1, and you got x5 1, remaining 0. So you got identity matrix. There is no negative symbol. We have to avoid that negative symbol, negative values. So RHS over here, it is 2, it is 4, right? So now moving to the Cj minus Zj, first Zj and then Cj minus Zj. So calculate Zj. Zj is equal to, see, as this is 0 0, always the calculation with any elements will be 0. So don't spend your time in that. Minus 1 into 2, minus 2, minus 1, 1, 0, 0, minus 1. And here it will be minus 2, right? Then Cj minus Zj, calculate Cj minus Zj. So 0 minus minus 2, it will be plus 2. Then 0 minus minus 1, it will be plus 1. Then 0 minus 1, minus 1. 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. Minus 1 minus minus 1, it will be 0. So only you understand all the phase 1, this should be 0. That is what difference here. And here you have to, only for artificial variable, the coordinate is minus 1. The coefficient is minus 1. Right? So we have finished now Cj minus Zj, which is maximum positive number. Here we have 2, here we have 1. This is minus 1, this is 0. So we don't have to bother about 0. No negative value to be considered. Only in the positive values 2 and 1, which is maximum. 2 is maximum. So it will go into the next iteration. That means what will go into a next iteration? X1 will go into a next iteration, right? Now as the X1 will go into a next iteration, we have to find out which one will be leaving, either A1 or X4 or X5. So for that we need to calculate the theta, right? So we need to find out the minimum theta. So calculating the theta in this column, right? How will calculate the theta? RHS divided by the corresponding element of entering variable. This is entering variable. So x1 is the entering variable. So corresponding element of entering variable. That means 2 divided by 2. This 2 divided by 1. And this 4 divided by 0. Right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. And 4 divided by 0 will be infinity. So don't write anything. 0 by 4 or 4 by 0. If anything in terms of minimum theta, don't write anything. Just put it as dash. Okay. That means we are not going to consider that value for checking the minimum theta. So now we have to check only from this 1 and 2, which is minimum. 1 is minimum. That means what? A1 is leaving, right? So this variable is leaving because this is minimum, right? And now what we need to find out? We need to find out the pivot element. So this is your pivot element. Why we are saying this pivot element, Rajita? Because this is the intersection element of entering variable and leaving variable, right? When this is leaving variable and this is entering variable. So x1 is entering into the next iteration, and instead of x1, a1 is leaving. So a1 is leaving in the next iteration, right? So this is intersecting element, that is called as a pivot element. I'll write it as here, pivot element. In the next iteration, we'll write out x1. Instead of, where we'll write x1? Instead of a1. So in the next iteration, we'll write down x1 instead of a1, and then x4 and x5 as it is. X4 and x5 as it is, right? So before that, what is the coefficient of x1? 0, x4 0, x5 0, right? So let us calculate these values. What we'll get here? All will get 0, but still we need to calculate. And so for this x1, which is newly entered right now, so how we'll do? Pivot row, this is a pivot row divided by pivot element. So 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 divided by 2, 1 by 2. Minus 1 divided by 2, minus 1 by 2. 0 divided by 2, 0. 0 divided by 2, 0. 1 divided by 2, 1 by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. Right? We need to calculate these values because these values will be required in the phase 2. So we have done with the, now we are going for the next row. In the next row for x4, for this row, you know that x1 and x4 will be 0. x4 and this x4 will be 1 and x5 x4 will be 0. So we should get this value. Here we want 0, here we want 1, here we want 0. Then only our identity matrix will be pakka. So we want 0. How we'll get 0 over here? For that we need to concentrate on this newly entered row and we need to concentrate the x4, old x4 row. We need to take this old x4 row. So these are the values we need to take. So see, here we have 1, here we have 1. If we do simple subtraction, this 1 minus this 1 will get 0. So we are getting the required value if we do a simple subtraction. But let us see whether same subtraction will be okay to get these values or not. So here from this one, because this is x4, right? So old x4. From this one, if we subtract this 0, we'll get 1. So it is working. Now check with over here also. From this 0, because it belongs to x4 only, right? So from this 0, if we subtract this 0, we'll get 0. That means what? To get this new x4, right? To get this new x4 from the old x4, we need to subtract new row, that is new x1. Right? If we do the simple subtraction from the corresponding elements, we are getting the required value. So let us do this one also. 3 minus half, that is 5 by 2, right? That is 2.5, so it is 5 by 2. So it is 5 by 2. Then 0 minus half, so plus half. Then here 0 minus half, then here 2 minus 1, so it is 1, right? And now all the values we got. So let us go for x5. For x5, this x1 and x5 should be 0. x5 should be 1. x5 x0 should be x5 x4 should be 0. So we need these values over here, right? It is based on this x1 x4 x5. Here x1, here x4, here x5. So x1 we should get 1 over here. x4 1 over here. x5 1 over here, right? Now find out for x5. So to find out x5, we have to take this newly entered x1 and we have to take old x5, right? So if we check, 0 minus 1 will not get 0. So simple subtraction is not possible. So if you want here to get 0 from this row and considering this row values, If you multiply this 1 by 0, so it will become a 0, and if you subtract then from this 0, you will get 0. That means what? If you multiply this x1 row by 0, then you will get the required values. Let us quickly check over here also. If you multiply this 0 by 0, 0 minus 0, 0, correct. Now check it over here also, which is this here. You multiply this 0 by 0 and then subtract from the 1. So 1 minus 0, 1. So you are getting. So that means what? You have to multiply this row by 0 and then you have to subtract from old x5 rows, right? From this. So 1 minus 0, that is nothing but you will get the same row over here. So 1 minus 0, 1, 0 minus 0, 0, here also 0, here 4 minus 0, so you'll get it as 4. So got these values, then we need to go for Zj. So calculate Zj. So Zj will be 0 because all these are 0, right? How will calculate Zj? Dot matrix, right, Rajita? How will calculate Zj? 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0. So as there are 0, always the multiplication will be 0 and addition of that will be 0. So all this will come 0. Right? And now Cj minus Zj. So you know that on the top, all the coefficients are 0, right? So this will also come as 0. Only here it will come as minus 1 because that is artificial variable. Minus 1, okay, minus 1 minus 0, so it will be minus 1. That means what? There is our phase 1 stops over here. There is no further values to move to the next iteration, and you can see that there is no artificial variable. It will work till it will remove the artificial variable. Once the all artificial variable will goes, you will get these zeros. The algorithm, the first phase will stop over there, and then we have to go for the second phase. So how we'll go for the second phase? Now we'll just write for the second phase. So for second phase, we need the last phase of our phase 1, last iteration of our phase 1. Right, so write down phase 2, and for phase 2, now you will not write artificial variable. Leaving artificial variable, you will write all other variables: x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. Right? And what will be your first iteration? Your first iteration of your phase 2 is your last iteration of your phase 1. So as it is, you will be writing here you have x1, here you have x4, here you have x5. Right? Something happened. Okay. Here you have x5. And same iteration, so same matrix 1, 1 by 2, minus half, 0, 0. You are not going to take values of artificial variable. 0, 5 by 2, 1 by 2, 1, 0. And third one is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. RHS, whatever there in the last iteration, 1, 1, 4. So what you have done, you have written the same iteration, last iteration, as the first iteration of your phase 2. Now you have to write the coefficient of the in the phase 2. but these coefficients now, previously it was 0, but now it is actual which is there in the objective function. So in the objective function, what is the coefficient? 3 minus 1, right? So you need to write 3 and minus 1 for x1, x2. So you will be having over here 3, here minus 1, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. For x1 it is 3, for x4 and x5 it is 0. So we got this. So let us calculate the ZJ. So ZJ will be, as this is 0, the multiplication of this with any elements will be 0. So don't spend your time. 3 into 1, 3. 3 into half. So 3 into half is how much it will come? 3 by 2. What is this? Okay.
3 by 2.
Yeah, 3 by 2. This will be minus 3 by 2. This will be 0. This is 0. And this is 3. Right? And then you will go for Cj minus Zj. So you will get it as 3 minus 3, 0. Minus 1 minus 3 by 2 will be how much? Minus 1 minus 3 by 2. Minus 2 minus 3. Minus 5 by 2. Correct. Minus 5 by 2. Then 0 minus 3 by 2. Okay. So this will be 3 by 2. Here this is 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0. And this value we already got it. So if you see now over here, you got RHS is equal to, this Z is equal to 3. And Cj minus, if you concentrate on Cj minus Zj value, this is 0, this is minus, this is 0, this is minus, but you have still one positive number. That means what? You have not finished with the phase 2. You are going into a next iteration where this will enter into a next iteration. I hope we have written correctly. Yeah, it's correct, no problem. Right, so we are going into a next iteration, so no problem, quickly we'll solve it. So now we need to find out theta. So theta is equal to, this is the row, right? This is the column, right? So 1 divided by minus half. So whenever there is a negative value, don't write, just put it as dash. Because 1 divided by minus half is minus half 2, but you don't have to write minus 2, so we'll put only as half, dash. Then here 1 divided by half, so it will be 2. 4 divided by 0, again it will be infinity, so don't write anything, just put it as dash. So among this, only this is the lowest value, this is only the value, and this is the lowest value, so this will be leaving. That means what? In the next iteration, x3 is entering, x4 is leaving. So we will be having x1, x3 and x5. This is 3, this is 0, this is 0. Calculating the values, first we'll calculate for x3, right? We'll calculate this row. So what is the pivot element? The pivot element is this half, 1 by 2. So 0 divided by 1 by 2, 0. 5 by 2 divided by 1 by 2, so it will be 5. 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2, it is 1. 1 divided by 1 by 2, it is 2. 0 divided by 1 by 2, 0. 1 divided by 1 by 2, it is 2. So we got this value. So now go for x1, right? So for this x1, x1 should be 1. x1, x3 should be 0. x1, x5 should be 0. Right? We should get this value. So concentrate where we want a 0. We want 0 over here. So what we need to do? We have to take old x1. Old x1 is here. Minus half is there. 1 is there. So that means what? If this 1, if you multiply by minus half, you will get, and if you subtract, you will get 0 over here. Same thing, if this 0 you multiply by minus half, and if you subtract, you will get it the, not minus half, and then you will minus half, then you will. So what exactly you need to do? You have to multiply this row by minus half, and then not minus half, you have to subtract from, you have to multiply by half, and then you have to subtract it. So we'll do quickly. To this 0 you are multiplying by minus half, so it will be 0 only, and then you are subtracting from the old x1, so 1 minus this 0, so it will be 1, right? Now for this 5 you are multiplying by minus half, so if you multiply by minus half, it will be minus 5 by 2, and then this you are subtracting from 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 minus 5 by 2, so 1 by 2 plus this, so it will be 6 by 2, which is equal to 3. So you will get it over here 3. Then this 2 you are multiplying by minus half, so you will get it as minus 1, and then you are subtracting that minus 1 from this 0, so 0 minus minus 1, it will be plus 1. Now this 2 you are multiplying by minus half, so you will get minus 1, and that minus 1 you are subtracting from this plus 1, so 1 minus minus 1, it will be 2. Right, so this is over. Now going for x5. In x5 you want 0 over here, 0 over here, 1 over here. So concentrate where you want 0, here you want 0. So what you need to do, you have to check how you will get. Here you have 0, here you have a 0. So 0 minus 0, 0. Okay. Here you have a 0, here you have a 1. But 0 minus 1, you will not get 0. That means what? You have to multiply this 1 by 0, then you will get it as 0. Right? Same thing if you do. So you multiply this x3 by 0 and subtract it from the x5. So multiply this 5 by 0, so it will be 0. 1 minus 0, so it is 1. Multiply this 2 by 0, subtract from 0, so it is 0. Multiply this 2 by 0, subtract from 4, so it will be same 4. So you got the values, so now you calculate Zj and then you calculate Cj minus Zj. 6. You got it, this value as a 6. Right? Here 3 minus 3, 0. Minus 1 minus 9 minus 10. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 3 minus 3, 0 minus 0, 0. So now you have either 0 or you have negative values. That means there is no positive value to move forward, right? So the algorithm stops here, phase 2 stops here. So you can see that the final answers which we got it as this. So we can highlight the final answer, right? So what variables, decision variables are there? X1 is there, X2 is there, and Z is there. And this problem is for maximization. There is no conversion. So Z we got it as 6. This answer is nothing but the answer for 6. So you got maximum Z, Z max or maximum Z is equal to 6. X1 is there. So for X1, what is in the, take a last iteration, okay? In the X1, what is the RHS value? 2. So X1 is equal to 2. There is no X2 over here and even not over here also. So as X2 is not there, the value of X2 will be 0. So this will be your final answer, right? X1 is equal to 2, X2 is equal to 0. What